What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be doing another episode of Chump to Champ. This time we're just going to be reviewing how we did in the first weekend league of FIFA 21. So if you don't know, this is the team that I used. We had Immobile, Alejandro Gomez, Luis Alberto up front, and then we had Gozens, Nainggolan in the midfield, then we had Alex Tellez, Dalit, Skriniar, and I believe Teo Hernandez at center back, and then we had Jesus Corona at the inform, Jesus Corona, and then Donnarumma in goal. Now, the thing about this team is we actually switched to a 5-2-1-2, and again, you can see on the screen where players were positioned. So Alex Tellez and Jesus Corona at the left and right wing back spots were very good. Those positions overall are very important to the 5-2-1-2, and we actually ended up getting gold 1, going 20-8. Now, if I were to, if someone were to have told me that I would get gold 1 the first weekend of FIFA 21, the first weekend league of FIFA 21 with it being the first weekend, new tactics, new team, new formation that I'd never really tried, I'd be happy with that. At the same time, we also started 15-0, and we were at 1.20-4, so we were in a great position to get Elite 3. And unfortunately, we just lost 4 straight. And with all the losses that I had, I could obviously take away some things from every single game, but some games were just more unlucky with the AI blocks and the tackles and things like that. And I know they're just small moments from the game, but those small moments can turn out to be really big, right? So if you are on the attack, right, and there's this ridiculous AI block, that's a goal that you should have had that you no longer have. So maybe you are still kind of uptight and not really relaxed about the game, and that could lead to some other stuff later on. So yeah, unfortunately that's kind of what happened for some of the games. But again, gold 1 isn't the worst thing. But going over the team itself, it was genuinely pretty good. I enjoyed using the 5-2-1-2. There are a few things that I noticed later on that when I came up against the 4-2-3-1 drop back meta with the Neymars, Mbappes, and Rashfords, the 5-star skillers, etc. The 5-2-1-2 kind of started to show some of its flaws a little bit, at least defensively, believe it or not, because even though it is a 5 at the back formation, there's not a whole lot of players in the middle. There's no defensive mid. There's not 2 defensive mids like there are in a 4-2-3-1. So it was a little barren in the midfield, unfortunately, which is where a lot of people tended to play in a 4-2-3-1, because those left and right attacking mids would kind of come in. So again, it's good. It was like a fun formation. I will probably use it later on, but for now, I'll just continue to try out new formations, new players, new teams, and kind of go from there. But going over the players themselves, starting off with Donnarumma in goal. I know that goalies in general are not that great this year, unfortunately, but there are a couple things that Donnarumma even did that I think he probably should have saved. Now, again, goalies aren't that great, so I don't know whether or not to blame him for it. So I'll just try out new goalies and kind of make my opinion about Donnarumma then. But until then, again, I'm going to kind of switch and try out new goalies. Next, the left and right wing backs. Alex Tellez on the left, Jesus Corona on the right. Jesus was just consistently good, insane dribbling, 5-star weak foot, very good all-around stats. His strength isn't good, but his stamina is actually in the 90s, so he's able to last all game, which is very important from that right wing back spot. So very, very happy with him. And then Alex Tellez, he actually, the first 15 games, did not start off very well, and then he quickly turned into one of my favorite players, consistently getting assists. He actually even got a few goals as well that I believe you will see in the highlights. And, if you need a left back to, go up and down the field, he's got high work rates, all around very good pace, decent enough shooting, I think, at least for long shots and shot power. He's obviously got good passing, decent enough dribbling, then he's your guy. And with him being in the Premier League, that's going to be even better as well. Moving on to the center backs, out of those 3 that I have, Dalit, Skriniar, and Teo Hernandez, Dalit was easily the best one, easily the best center back that I've actually played with so far, even though I haven't really played with a whole lot of players. Just always in the right position, making tackles. He's very strong. He's big. I can't really say enough about him, to be honest. Skriniar, a little disappointing. He wasn't necessarily bad, but compared to Dalit, he just did not show up nearly as often. And then Teo Hernandez, he's obviously a left back, but we played him at center back, and while his defending is okay, his pace obviously made up for any defending deficiencies. So big fan of him, just because he was able to defend fairly well. Dalit was one of the better center backs I've ever played with so far, and then Skriniar was just a little bit disappointing, unfortunately. Moving on to the center mids, we have Nainggolan and Gozens. Now, Nainggolan overall was probably one of my favorite center mids this year. Again, an insane box-to-box center mid. He can do it all, high work rates. And, you know, I have a catalyst on him, and he only goes to 81 pace, which isn't super fast, but he felt a lot faster than that. He felt like in the high 80s, I would say. And one of the things I will say as well about both of these guys, though, is that their dribbling could be better. I did lose the ball a fair amount in the midfield and then got countered and scored on. So that's something that I needed to work on, or, you know, needed to adjust for later times where I use this formation, is to have center mids where, you know, they are obviously good box-to-box players, but they need to also be good at just dribbling so they don't lose the ball, like Jesus Corona, for example. Gozens on the left side, a little bit underwhelming. He was okay just from as a box-to-box center mid standpoint. Made a lot of interceptions. You know, he's 6 foot tall, I believe, so he's, you know, he's fairly big. So he made good interceptions, and he was pretty good defensively, but attacking wise he really was not that good, and dribbling wise he was horrible. Agility, balance were not good. His actual dribbling's not that great. So unfortunately, you know, I did lose the ball with him the most in the midfield, so not something I want to, you know, use with him, is put him in that midfield spot again, unfortunately. For the center attacking mid, we have Luis Alberto. He was kind of the opposite of Tellez, where initially he was actually, you know, pretty good, and then he kind of started to show his weaknesses. He's not the fastest, his dribbling's not insane, 3-star weak foot, so not a fan of that. So unfortunately, he did kind of burn out at the end, and I will eventually be looking for other players there. And then at striker, we have Immobile and Alejandro Gomez. Both of these guys were insane. The thing about Immobile is that while his shooting is insane and probably one of the best just pure shooting strikers I've ever used in any FIFA ever, you know, he's not that great on the ball, right? If you need him to take a touch or two and then shoot it and you'll get an open shot with him, he's going to score, right? He's perfect at that. But, you know, link up play, his passing's not good. Pace wise, he's not the fastest. He's not a burner. Dribbling wise, he's not the best. So on the ball, he's not, you know, he's not that great. But, you know, if you have a play style where you get your strikers the ball in open spaces and you just take a touch or two and then shoot it, he is literally the perfect striker for you. Whereas Gomez, probably my favorite player this year so far. He's very similar to Immobile in terms of off the ball, he's very good, but then obviously on the ball, he's insane. He's got great link up play. His dribbling's obviously insane. He's faster than Immobile, so he can literally do all of the things that Immobile can't, while also doing the things that Immobile can. So overall, I would say he's just a much better overall player than Immobile, at least the way I want to use him. Now, for the rewards that we're going to get, we are actually going to save the 100k packs for our team of the year, but then obviously the coins that we're obviously going to get, and then the red picks, we are going to be opening those, but the actual packs that we get, we will be saving. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you'd enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them for you. But like I said, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.